Hi, this is Jennifer Carson, and I'm going to be showing you how to write your performance indicators for your Individual Language Learner Plan, ILLP, inside of your Attachment A. Up here you'll find all the student information that will need to be filled in if it hasn't been filled in already for you. Also down here you will see the composite result from the Azella, and you can see the date that Azella was taken. You can see the student that we're going to be working with is in the intermediate category. This is your driving force because it'll help you know which performance indicator you are going to need to select inside of the ELL standards. So the first place I always start, and we're going to be working in the reading area for this case. In high school, we're saying the history and science teachers are going to be doing the reading area. So the first place I like to start is with my standards. So I'm inside of my standards, and I'm going to pretend that I'm a geography teacher. And I know that this is going to be one of the concepts that I'm going to be covering this quarter. And I also know that the student that I'm working with has been having a lot of trouble interpreting maps and images and different things, and I want to really help this student with that concept. So here's that PO that I'm going to be covering. So I know that's on my curriculum plan. So what I do is I try to find a key word that would probably be inside of the ELL standard. So here it says interpret. That's a kind of a key reading word. So I know that that might show up and help me find an ELL goal that will help my student learn interpret maps. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this word interpret, and I'm going to go over to my ELL standards. And if I click the find button up here, I get this lovely little find box, and I can just copy and paste in the word interpret, and you can see it shows me there's 12 different areas in my document where the word interpret is. So now I can read through just these 12 instead of the 25 pages, just these 12 different standards, and try to figure out, okay, is this going to help my student? So I see here interpreting signs, symbols, labels in the environment. That matches up perfectly with my standard over here as of interpreting maps and images. So I'm going to go with this one, but I know that my student, if I look back at my attachment A, is an intermediate level. So I need to make sure I'm in the low or the high. He's still working on his skills, so I'm going to say he's in the low intermediate. So over here is the one that I would want to take. So I'm going to go ahead and I work backwards a little bit. I like to copy all of this stuff for the performance indicator. I copy that, and then I paste it over here. And you can see when you do that, anywhere there was a return, it copies that over. So you just have to take that out, a little formatting issue, but that's okay. And then the other part that you want to make sure that you're copying over is the student will demonstrate knowledge of reading comprehension by, and you're going to paste that part in. Okay, so now I have my full standard and performance indicator written here. But now I need to make sure I have the coding of the correct performance indicator. So I'm going to come over here and show you this guy. This one is coding system for the domains. So you can see that the first part of the code is the stage that you're in. The next part is the domain. For listening and speaking, it's LS. For the one that we're working in right now for the example is reading, so it's going to be R. Then you have to find the standard number, and then finally the performance indicator goes afterwards. So keeping that in mind, we're going to go back to our ELL document, and I'm going to show you how to copy that over. So now I'm going to go over to my ELL document, and I'm going to first find the stage number, which is up here, which is the V or the 5. So I'm going to copy and paste that over, and then you do a dash. The next part is your domain, which was reading, so that was the R for the beginning part, dash. Then I needed the standard that I'm on standard 4, so I'm going to copy that over, and then you do those two little dots, and finally I need my performance indicator, which I was low intermediate, and 24. I'm going to copy that over, paste that in, and now I have my full coding, and I have my standard written. So that would need to happen at least 3 more times. So you need 4 to 5 performance indicators per student. And remember, these need to be individualized per student. They wouldn't be all the same. It's what that student individually needs to be focusing on. You also need to set a target date for each performance indicator. Not necessarily would all the performance indicators have the same target date. If I knew I was going to be covering maps and symbols in November, I would just write November 2014. But maybe one of the next performance indicators I know I'll be covering in October, so then I would put October. And that is how you write your performance indicators for your ILLP. Thank you.